Hi, Mark McNutt here. Well, here it is, almost Groundhog Day in bulk, and the new moon happening in Aquarius, and I'm looking forward to sharing about the upcoming times with you, the coming out of Mercury retrograde, coming out of Venus retrograde, and what's going on with that new moon, and a little bit of lore for you. So that's where I'm going to go. Okay, so the new moon happens right into the cusp of the new month of February, and February is the only month that actually is a lunar month, that has the same length of time. And so this is a reading for February as well. So this month starts with the sun and moon being in conjunction with Saturn. So Saturn's going to be a big player in the coming time. The overview of all of this is that basically it's the time to get going. It's the time to start your new projects and to move into action. Now, you may not have been feeling this a few days ago, but the energy is really building now. So starting with the new moon, starting with waking up in the morning on February 1st, we're going to be looking at Venus is just coming out of retrograde, Mercury coming out of retrograde that day. And a whole different ball game starts up. So which thing to go in first? The new moon. No, a little bit of lore. So basically the roots of Groundhog Day. There's of course a holiday in America called Groundhog Day, which happens with the midwinter. But the roots are Imbolc, and also known as Breed's Mass or Bridget's Mass and all that. And it's a time when we're halfway through the winter and the light is starting to quicken. Now, I live off the grid. I make my own electricity, all solar, and so I just revel in the joy at this time of year because that's when things get a lot easier. So this is also the time when the land starts waking up, when the light starts to just embellish everything. Technically, this has been celebrated February 2nd, but February 5th is the actual midpoint of the winter, and the day's quickening after that. The higher you are up in the latitudes, the more apparent this becomes. So this particular new moon, Sun and Moon and Saturn conjunct, and Aquarius is all about ideals. It's all about people. It's all about the big picture. Not so much about your personal relations of, connecting with this person or that person, but the big bulk of your tribe, your friends, and what you believe, what you think is true, because energy follows intention, and this is a time when the mind, the light, enlightenment gets stimulated. And so this is a celebratory time every year for renewal into the ideals, into the interaction with other people and so forth. But as I mentioned, it's about the bigger picture, not so much the personal picture. We'll get back to that in a little bit, but another player, very important, Venus. Venus has just come out of retrograde. A lot of people are aware of the Mercury retrograde, and Venus was also retrograde at the same time, which was like a double whammy. And so socially, it's been a little challenging. That Venus retrograde started with Venus conjunct Pluto in the middle of December, and now is coming out and spinning around, and Venus has to cover the same old ground again. And then around the beginning of the next new moon in early Pisces, early March, Venus will go past the point it was, past the shadow of its own retrograde cycle. So I'll bet a lot of you have been really challenged about the relationship question lately. Like, where's my relationship? How come I'm not getting along with people? Or where are the people I can get along with? Or how come nobody's around? Or how come the people that are around are pushing my buttons? So, different questions about Venus. But Venus is always that part that has to do with our social life and relationships and all that. As I mentioned, I am willing to look up Mercury and Venus if they're retrograde in your chart, if you give me a birthday. Mercury is also coming out of retrograde. Mercury is the mind and communication and how we interact. So we can imagine how we interact mentally and verbally with each other, and you mix that with the retrograde challenges of Venus, where a person might say something and it might really push your buttons. So this is the environment we're coming out of, and we're coming into a really nice healing time about that. Healing interactions and healing our relations and all that. All towards the goal of something new, something new coming out of this month and this time. The planet Uranus is in Taurus right now. Uranus is the ruling planet of Aquarius. Uranus is in trine with Venus, and so that's a lot of surprises in store and a lot of building energy. So you might think that we've been in the doldrums lately. Energy hasn't been moving. Here in the Northwest, it's been physically frozen, as well as the energy being a little frozen. And we're coming out of that. And so that coming out of the cold is going to be a very immediate thing, because Venus, as it comes out of retrograde, stationing, moving forward, trining Uranus. So that means expect the unexpected, particularly regarding money, earth plane, jobs, and our own personal relationships, something coming out of the blue. Don't know what it is? That's why you get personal readings, because this is not going to be the same for everybody. And then Mercury coming out of retrograde, just as it's also conjunct Pluto. So there's a transformation going on in the mind and in our attitudes right now. This is definitely a time to build a new world, not to just cement and put duct tape over the old world, because this is a real opportunity for something new and transformative coming on. And then, and so the planet Uranus is in Taurus right now. There can be like stodgy old energy resisting the change and the transformation that's in the air right now. With Venus, with personal relations, energy is going to move. But also Saturn is still, well, Saturn's not really technically in square with Uranus anymore, but they're still affecting each other. And there's still, a lot of stubbornness in the air. So I'm not expecting everybody to be peaceful and easygoing with each other. But on the other hand, we're moving into a state of seeing the big picture and seeing the compassion that is possible. And next month we'll be exploring a new realm of our compassionate relations and all that. But for this month, stay tuned, stay powerful. Whoever you need to forgive or ask forgiveness from, great time to do that. And so we can move on into some new ground. And how that works out for you is very different for each individual. So get your reading. This is a good time for it. If you also, if that's a stretch for you, just get another update that's about you. So happy to serve, and wishing you well. Happy Imbolc. Happy New Year.